Hello, everyone out there in the podcast and streaming world. My name is Techie.
And my name is Talon.
How are we, mate? We haven't seen each other in a
Yeah,
while, really, on here,
no,
at least.
on here we did catch up on the weekend for my brother-in-law's birthday. That was really nice.
We sure
Good to
did.
catch up. You actually were standing in this room in my studio. Well, room really, it's really a studio room. But dude, um, tonight's not a really happy show. Oh my god, it's just been tragedy after tragedy.
How about we start
Okay?
off with a good thing, though?
Yeah, let's start up with a good thing. Absolutely. What do you got for me, Techie?
Well, first of all, do you like my new light?
I do like the new lights. Techie's actually got some new lights that he set up. Because weren't you looking around and you saw like these really nice like RGB lights, but they were like $100 or more?
Yep,
Oh
over
man.
$100.
Yeah, so you decided, you know what, I'm gonna make it, and you made it under like $40. You went to your local Kmart, got the LED strips you can buy there for about $40. I think like
25
40,
$25 for the LED strip.
and
Then
you
went to Bunnings.
and got some PVC pipe, and now we got an RGB. It makes your door look like some type of like portal or something like that. It looks really cool.
So, let's try the media section.
Yeah, so Techie's got more lights than me. If you can't really tell, I've only got like my two lights over here on the left. He's got more lights, plus also he's got the added advantage of actually getting more lights because I sadly live in a rental, but you own your freaking house, so you can actually set up whatever lights you want.
Well, that's true.
But you try to set up lights in your house that actually not only are cool looking, but also actually benefit you and your partner.
That's right.
Yeah, that's actually smart. I really like that.
That's the whole
I
term
also
of a smart home.
yeah, I actually really like the video you sent me, the smart home versus stock home.
Oh, you
It's
watched
very
it?
I did watch it. Yeah, I ended up watching it really late. But it was really good. I enjoyed it. Dead set. We're still a long way away from doing
We
like
are,
the
but we're
stock
not
home.
far off either.
We're not far off either. Like we're still, it's still pretty far, but not so far that we can't see it. We can see it. It's on the horizon. I think we'll get close to it soon.
Oh, hands down, we will be. Let's just
I
try that again.
I like that light, the red light. Kind of looks like some type of like laser grids kind of building up. It kind of looks cool. Like
Yeah, this is the media section.
yeah, so I like that. It's really cool.
I
I like
like
the lights
this.
in it.
I like the green
yeah,
one.
the light. Yeah, the green one's really cool. I
It
like
looks
that
like
one.
it looks more like the Death Star getting ready
Yeah,
to
it looks
fire.
it looks like the Death Star being refired. I was gonna say something out of like Blade Runner or something like that. Kind of reminds me of that a little.
That'd be more
But
the
it
blue.
definitely, more the blue. I really like that. That's really cool. Um, you know, I know we want to talk about the good stuff, but we do have to kind of talk about the elephant in the room and what's happened recently with Alec Baldwin.
We will, but the light wasn't the good news. We need to talk about the Uncharted trailer.
Oh shit! I totally forgot about that.
Yeah.
All right, I want your opinion first, and then I'll give you mine.
I like it. I am giving it the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's,
look, here's
yeah.
the thing. We know full well. Hang on, I'm sounding a bit quiet. That could be better. We know full well that Nolan North and Naughty Dog were on set during this film.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think they wouldn't. I think it's their baby. It's Uncharted. It's not like it's like with Uncharted. It's like with The Last of Us, for example. Yeah, you know for a fact that Troy Baker and that would be on set, helping Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey with getting helping them get connected with their characters, especially with the actress. Who's the I know the voice actor for freaking Joel, but I'm terrible with the voice actor who does Ellie because she's on Critical Role as well.
Yes, she is.
Yeah, yeah. Let me just ask my Google for a second. Hold on. Hey Google, Who voices Ellie in The Last of Us?
Bella Ramsey voiced the character Ellie.
No. Who voices Ellie in The Last of Us?
Bella Ramsey voiced the character Ellie.
Ashley Johnson. Ashley Johnson. It was Ashley Johnson who voices Ellie. So it was Ashley Johnson who voiced Ellie in The Last of Us. And I really love that, I know for a fact that they would be on set or maybe in contact with Neil Druckmann, or probably in contact with Pedro Pascal. I think they would be. I don't think they would just let this go by chance. Now, I love Uncharted. I mean, come on. I recently got the necklace, which I'm very happy about. It's very comfortable to wear.
It took you long enough to get that.
Bloody forever to get this damn freaking necklace and finally arrived. It's actually really good. I only paid like $6 for it. It was only shipping, and it's a decent metal ring. It's got the right text on it. I don't need to do any type of highlighting work on the letters. I really like it, and it's also very nice. It's got the coordinates on the inside too, which I actually just noticed. I haven't really examined it that much. I need to examine it more. I just like wearing it. It's comfortable. But when it comes down to it, with this trailer, how did you feel about some of the things in it? For instance, with Mark Wahlberg.
Again, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Look.
Yeah.
I know that Chris, in particular,
he's not behind the casting.
He's not behind the casting. I know that he said that I don't think they're doing a young Nathan Drake anymore. He's in his prime. No. I still think he is young Nathan Drake.
Yeah.
He still is. Let's be honest. And they're setting up for a big franchise here.
Yeah, absolutely. I
with
reckon they
multiple films attached. So, if it goes well, which I think it might.
It's not a January release, which is good. It's a February. It's February. Release. Yeah, which I'm very grateful for. For all fans out there who don't understand why I mean it's not a January release. Usually, when film studios release movies in January, they release them for one thing. It's shit.
It's either shit or it's for Oscars.
Yeah. And most of the time...
Hey, if Uncharted goes for an Oscar, I'm down.
I don't know if it'll go for an Oscar. I mean...
Hey, it could. It could go for special effects. It could go for music. You don't know. Star Wars has won Oscars for their CGI work and that stuff.
It could go for its cinematography if the cinematography is actually good.
Yeah, and what I've seen in the trailer, it looked pretty good.
Yeah, it looked pretty good it looked pretty good in the trailer. The action set pieces look really good. Absolutely reminiscent of the game. The plane sequence looks awesome. I'm keen to see that. I'm keen to see a lot of the. Oh crap! Yeah, he said that.
He got that right. He got that line, and he said it well.
Oh
in my
crap!
Opinion.
I don't know. I don't understand the start of the trailer. It's Uncharted 4. He's wearing his Uncharted 4 clothes. So the whole thing of him doing a young Nathan Drake. Look, what it could be is it could be started Uncharted 4 and he's kind of reminiscing a lot about his past adventures. I don't know. I don't understand the plot. But it just seems all over the place. And it doesn't make you understand what's happening, But, kudos to some of the cast in it. I mean, Antonio Banderas is in it. Like, I'm happy with Antonio Banderas. I love he's great as a villain. I reckon he'd be great as a villain. I reckon he'd be an absolute badass as a villain. Definitely am a little bit sus on Mark Wahlberg. I know that you want to give it the benefit of the doubt.
Sorry, I lost my mic for a second.
You're all good. I want to give him the benefit of the doubt, But at the same time, though, I don't know.
Somebody mentioned to me, what if Mark Wahlberg's character, because we've seen a photo with him having a mustache behind the scenes. And man, we're having technical difficulties tonight, hey. Give us a second, guys. We'll be back.
Thank you for choosing Restream. Okay, Restream. Thank you for sending me a pop-up. I don't really need a pop-up.
All right, we're back.
I am terribly sorry about that.
That's okay. So what I was saying was that we've seen behind the scenes, right, of Mark Wahlberg with a mustache.
I've not watched that yet.
No.
Okay,
but
so there was behind the scenes.
No, this was a while ago while they were filming.
Oh, yes.
He made an Instagram post with a mustache. So,
yes, I remember that.
What I'm thinking is, well, not thinking, but somebody's mentioned to me, what if that's the end credit scene? Or right at the end. He gains his mustache.
Could be. I don't know, though. I would like to see him in the movie with the mustache. I mean, okay. Chris said this in his video, and I'm going to say it. The fan film. I love that fan film.
Of course.
Stephen Lang, man. He is great as Sully. Why couldn't you get Nathan Fillion and Stephen Lang? Those guys can make freaking magic. He absolutely could do it. And honestly, I don't understand.
I think, again, it's studios going, we want to make this a franchise. We don't want to go for an older person because they'll get longer and longer in age, which means less things to do. Plus, on top of that, Nathan Fillion's got his own show on top of that, so it could always be scheduling issues.
It could be scheduled. Speaking of younger actors, there is one more. There is a thing I do want to add to the show.
Chloe.
Talk about after. No. With Ruby Rose, what's happening with her?
Oh yes.
We need to talk about that after we talk about Uncharted. We'll get to that. But my take on the trailer, I loved it. I reckon it was good. This action set piece is awesome. It felt very Uncharted.
One of my favorite shots was when he swings and points the gun.
Yeah, that was good. That was awesome. And also the costume department. I love how he, you see it a bit in the trailer. He actually gets his holster. He actually gets it.
What I think I like about this, and what I'm kind of seeing again. This is the first trailer.
The first one. We had the same things with the Batman trailer when we first saw it.
We still don't know. This is just a teaser, really.
Yeah, it's just a teaser.
Be honest. Somebody in the comments section, though, of the trailer, though, said, pretty sure this is the most Nate has ever said about his brother Sam in the entire series.
Absolutely. It was actually cool. I wonder who they're going to cast to play Sam. What if it's just Mark Wahlberg again?
I think they should honestly cast Troy.
Oh, that would be brilliant.
He looks like him.
Yeah, didn't he voice Troy? Didn't he voice him? Yeah. Sam was voiced by
He looks like him. So, definitely cast him, in my opinion. But in saying that, though, you got to look for somebody that kind of resembles Tom Holland, and he doesn't.
Just get one of Tom Holland's brothers. Just get Robert Downey Jr. He can play Sam.
Actually, I'd be down for that.
I would be interesting. All right, so we've talked a lot about Uncharted and honest opinion of the trailer. I'll give it a, for a teaser trailer, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to give it about an 8.
Yep.
I am really excited for this.
Yeah.
It's been a long time coming.
We've been wanting this trailer for a while. I mean, you have talked about this trailer for ages and wanting more and more stuff. I mean, you nab onto any info about this because you live and breathe Uncharted. I think the first cosplay I actually met you in, besides Kylo, was Nathan.
Yep.
Yeah.
And what I have kind of, and look, I think with Mark Wahlberg as well, the more you watch that trailer, the more you go, I think I'm seeing a lot of the same scene here.
Yeah. I will admit, though, there are some scenes where he does act like Sully, like, when Nate's putting his friggin' hand up to his face.
You look like an idiot.
Put your hand down, you look like an idiot.
But again, it looks roughly like the same scene.
It does.
So maybe he will have his mustache.
You know what? They could be hiding it. Remember what they did with Spider-Man in Civil War? They could be hiding it. They could be either just digitally manipulating it.
You reckon they'd hide a mustache though?
Come on, think about it.
But
I'm just spitballing.
Why would they want the bad press though? You would want, for a movie that's been in the works for so long, the pressure that this one has because of the franchise and the fan base, you wouldn't want to fuck it up.
No, you wouldn't want to fuck it up. But at the same time, though, I can understand it from a critical standpoint because, again, we all knew that Spider-Man was going to be in Civil War. We all knew that. But they hid him from the trailer because they weren't ready to do a good reveal.
Did we, though? Did we know he was going to be in it?
We had a suspicion that he was going to be in it. I remember there was suspicion that he was going to be in it. And boom,
it wasn't until
he was in it.
It wasn't until they announced that there was a what do you call it? A rights thing that's happened with Sony with that.
Yeah. And now I think they will show more of it in the next trailer. I'm like, oh my god, I really cannot believe that we're actually arguing about a goddamn mustache. Jesus Christ, it's friggin' Superman Snyder cut all over again. At least they won't digitally manipulate it and ruin it. Oh. Won't try and hide it. Actually, if they are hiding it in that trailer, then fuck me, they're doing a better job than what WB did. You know I'm right.
Of course.
All right, we need to move on. What next step we got? Or are we going into the bad realm?
No, I actually read something today, and I really want to talk about it. It was to do with Kevin Feige and Spider-Man.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Let me just try and find it.
Yep.
So pretty much, Kevin Feige was talking about in the new book that I was telling you about.
Yeah.
And it was about. We'll go with this one until I get to that webpage. No, it's not comic book movie. It's comicbook.com what I want. So he was talking about. So this book that's out now.
It's about 200 and how much was it again?
$230 Australian. I think it's worth it. I really want to get it, but at the same time, I can't justify the money on a book. But pretty much what the book is, it's called The Story of Marvel Studios.
And literally, from what you told me, it's a full-on detailed look of the entire story of the MCU and how it happened. Because remember, it almost didn't happen. It almost never happened. If Iron Man had failed commercially and not made the budget or the impact, we would have never had the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah. The crazy thing is, though, they were skeptical about casting Downey Jr.
Yeah, they were. Okay, so I've got it up here. So Marvel and Sony kept Spider-Man split secret from the cast and the crew. So Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures kept their impasse over a second Spider-Man deal secret from the cast and crew of Spider-Man Far From Home. In August 2019, weeks after Far From Home webbed up the biggest box office for any Sony movie, the press and public learned what few knew at Marvel and Sony. Tom Holland's Spider-Man will no longer have a home in the MCU. The unprecedented pact reached between the two studios to bring the rebooted Warcrawler into the MCU, home to Iron Man and the Avengers, had expired after 5 movies: Civil War, Homecoming, Infinity War, Endgame, and Far From Home, and would not be renewed. So there were only a handful of us that were aware of that. We didn't we didn't tell the filmmakers or the actors, Kevin Feige said, who took creative charge on the Sony Marvel Spider-Man movies. It says in the officially authorized book, The Story of Marvel Studios, The Making of the MCU, we didn't want it to color the finishing of the movie or the press junket. All I cared about was finishing the movie to make it feel as great as we could, which, in my opinion, it's possibly one of the greatest Spider-Man movies of all time.
I'm sorry, that's sugarcoating it a little bit. I can't understand that, but continue.
What, Far From Home?
Yeah, I'm not a fan of. I like Far From Home. Mysterio is awesome. I reckon it's a great movie, but the greatest Spider-Man movie ever? No, it doesn't compete to Spider-Man 2.
That's why I said it's one of the greatest Spider-Man movies. Listen.
Leave me alone.
Feige and other executives kept the impasse under wraps with hopes a second deal could be reached to keep Spider-Man in the universe where he'd become one of Earth's mightiest heroes. According to the book, it was at this time that Holland and trilogy director John Watts and the core creators behind Far From Home were in the dark about the dead deal. The partnership that saw Spider-Man swing into a scuffle between other superheroes for the first time, an amazing fantasy that once seemed impossible, was officially over. Reports even surfaced that Feige was devising ways to write Spider-Man out of the universe altogether, which doesn't seem so far off, really, at the moment. In my opinion.
Yeah.
But Bob Iger and the CEO of Disney made it his personal mission to remedy the situation and renewed the deal. That allowed Spider-Man to exist as part of a live-action universe with other Marvel superheroes for the first time in his cinematic history. After fans voiced their displeasure online in the biannual D23 Expo, Iger led numerous conversations that involved Feige, Holland, Chief Counsel at Marvel Studios, David Galuzzi, Disney's Alan Horn and Alan Bergman, and Sony Pictures Chairman Tom Rothman, according to the book. Both sides finally untangled the web hanging over the... I love the Spider-Man puns and the Spidey puns in this article.
Yeah,
it's
I do too.
great.
I'm loving it as well.
Untangled the web hanging over the partnership that proved beneficial for Marvel and Sony's burgeoning Spider-Man universe. According to press reports at the time, Sony and Disney reportedly reached a deal to co-finance a third Spider-Man movie at 75% to 25% split of the budget and profits, with Feige again taking creative charge of Spider-Man 3. Since titled Spider-Man No Way Home, Sony and Marvel were back in business. Under the new deal, Sony and Disney/Marvel would work together on No Way Home, and Holland's Spider-Man would appear in a future Marvel Studios movie, potentially in Avengers 5. The crisis averted, and the renewed pact meant even closer collaboration between Feige's MCU and the rebranded Sony Spider-Man universe, home to anti-heroes Venom and Morbius.
Which, I'm not going to say anything.
Yep. I would have been very disappointed if the impasse was not resolved, says Spider-Man producer Amy Pascal, because I didn't think we were finished. I knew we had more stories to tell in the cinematic universe. Also because I adore everyone at Marvel. It became a big deal in a way that I think was somewhat surprising to everyone. But it also showed how powerful the partnership has been and how great those films were that John Watts and Amy Pascal and we did together. For various reasons, briefly business angles sort of took things over a little bit, but it was really a case of what's best for the character of Spider-Man and best for the fans of Spider-Man. That's what prevailed the first time that allowed us to do Homecoming and Far From Home. If a renewed pact never came together, there was a part of me that thought, okay, we did way more than I even thought we could do, which is true. And if this is where it ends, we'll both be okay. As for the fans who protested and made it clear they wanted Spider-Man to continue on in the MCU, Feige says, I'm so thankful they did.
Because I remember this. I do remember this thing because I argued about it. Because, look, You can hate Disney all you want. I really love Kevin Feige. The guy knows Marvel more than anybody. Same thing with Dave Filoni with Star Wars. And I love that he fought, you know, teeth and claw to keep Spider-Man in the MCU, and it fucking worked. The
Mm.
guy is a genius. And, like, look, you can hate Tom Holland's Spider-Man all you want. I think he's a really great Spider-Man. I mean, for goodness sake, he's the first ever Spider-Man to actually finally team up with the Avengers.
Yep.
You know, I mean, he got his own movie, and we got the Vulture for the first time, played by the brilliant.
We got
Michael
Mysterio for the
played
first
by
time.
Jake Gyllenhaal. We got Mysterio for the first time, played by Jake Gyllenhaal, and now we're getting fucking.
And not only that, but even though it was fake, but we also got Hydro Man.
We got Hydra Man. Yeah, we got Lava Man. We literally got
all the
Molten Man.
weirdish Spider-Man villains we got.
Yep. Even though they were fake, I still liked them. I still think they were really cool. The thing that gets me annoyed the most is the fact is that you still have people out there arguing that Sony should have rights. The last time Sony tried to do their own universe with Andrew Garfield Spider-Man, it blew up on their face because Spider-Man 2, the Amazing
They didn't know what to
Spider-Man
do. They
didn't know what to do.
But again, that was the second time they've tried to add multiple villains in one movie and failed.
And it failed. And now, whether or not, look, I'm going to say this. Yes, Far From Home does have multiple villains. We know that. We know for a fact
right.
And they're going to do it right because these are villains that have already existed in the whole comic book universe. You've got Green Goblin, you've got Doc Ock, and you've got Electro. Those are the three that we know are confirmed. We know they're going to do the Sinister Six. I 100% fucking believe they're going to do the Sinister Six.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, whatever happens in Venom, because we haven't seen Venom yet, we have to wait and see because Venom comes out in November, even though...
Well, we actually kind of know considering we've been spoiled online.
But we won't be saying anything here because we don't want to spoil it for people, and also I don't want to seem like a dick and spoiling it for people. So that's all we're going to say about Venom. You know, if we do get to see it, we'll let you know. But at the same time, though, just kind of wait that long? That's ridiculous.
I know. All right, so we're going to move on to the Ruby Rose stuff.
Yeah.
So Ruby Rose reveals real reason she left Batwoman, slams working conditions.
Holy crap, man. She didn't just reveal, she didn't just reveal, what happened. She talked to people by name. She name dropped everybody who was involved with Batwoman. Said it was the worst time of her life. Said it really ruined a lot of her personal relationships. It almost paralyzed her. There are clips on her story, which I watched, literally showing what happened. You know, showed scans of her, the injuries she had because she was injured left, right, and center on Batgirl. She was harassed. She was belittled. There's even a video where she had to tell her fans she couldn't come to Comic-Con because of scheduling conflicts, which she didn't fucking know about. She'd already booked it with the con to go. Then they tell her, oh, you can't go because you're going to be filming. And she didn't fucking know. So she had to go on Instagram completely embarrassed and telling her fans she couldn't go. And it was about a week before Comic-Con. You don't fucking do that. So yes, I do not support Batwoman. In fact, I do not like Batwoman. I am never.
We mentioned that on our 4-hour show about 2 weekends ago.
And this was before Ruby Rose talked about it. And now, when you go onto the CW's Batwoman's Instagram page, you go through the comments, all you see is this hashtag, I stand with Ruby Rose. And you'll just see it. Because Ruby Rose is right. From what she said, from what she saw, she named off everybody. Now, of course...
So here we go. I've got it here. So it is not clear what motivated Rose to share her story now, but she begins it by saying, enough is enough, while tagging not only the network, but Batwoman's showrunner Caroline Dries and producers Greg Berlanti and Sarah Schechter in an Instagram story. I'm going to tell the whole world what really happened on that set. I will come for you so that what happened to me never happens to another person again, and I can finally take back my life and truth. Shame on you. Rose alleged the longtime Warner Brothers television chief Peter Roth, who left the studio at the end of 2020, hired a private investigator to get dirt on her, and then and then fired the investigator as soon as the report didn't fit your narrative. She also accused him of inappropriate relationships with young women. Last week, Roth was subjected of a glowing write-up in the industry trade magazine Variety after he caped his retirement with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Rose shared an audio from a conversation apparently between her and her doctor discussing her spinal injury sustained on the set of Batwoman, as well as a resharing footage from the surgery, which she had previously posted online. Cut to 3 weeks after the video, it's worse than abnormal. This was diagnosed years ago on set, but if I got an X-ray, we would make our day. I have documented this for years. On top of that, I have enough documentation to make a 1-hour documentary. Pray tell, what else would you like me to share? The broken neck or the broken ribs split in two and the tumor. According to Rose, Roth told her she would cost the studio millions and endanger the jobs of the cast and crew if she did not return to work right away. She addressed critics who said she looked too stiff, saying that she might have done better if the series had been rewritten to accommodate her injury and recovery time, rather than expecting her to get right back into the cape and cowl.
The thing is, I just have
you could use a stunt double for that.
Yeah, literally. I mean, like, seriously, she did majority of the stunts, and she caught a lot of injuries, she was told, before she did the statement. Now, another thing as well, she was allergic to the cowl. It was latex. She was allergic to it. She literally was doing times where she would literally break out into hives because of that cowl. Now,
It's a good cowl, I have to admit, though.
It's an amazing cowl, but if you're allergic to latex, man, it ain't a good cowl.
No.
That's it. Like, what I don't get is why they tried to, completely mess around with Ruby Rose. It's Ruby Rose. She's one of the most beautiful actresses out there. I mean, for goodness sake, she's amazing. And the fact is, they tried to screw her over and ruin her career. Now, she did state that this might ruin her career, but she doesn't care. She's so beat up and just so done with the CW. And I've said this in the beginning. The CW are going down fucking hill. And this is just the worst.
Well, they lost one of their biggest shows this year.
Yeah, who'd they lose? They lost the
Supernatural.
Supernatural, yes. Supernatural's gone. Arrow's gone as well. Supergirl's ending soon. And I bet you any money that Flash will end very, very soon.
Yep. So following her exit, Rose cited that the COVID-19 pandemic and production shutdown is playing a role in her decision. Yeah. Today, she says she was frustrated by the production's deliberately slow response to the pandemic. For quite a while, she remained publicly supportive of the show, suggesting she might someday return and praising her replacement, Javika Leslie, who plays a different character wearing the Batwoman costume.
Which
Rose
I don't understand.
Yeah. Rose was not only the person injured on set in 2020. Production assistant Amanda Smith was left paralyzed from the waist down following an accident during production of Batwoman. Rose also detailed a number of other instances of serious injury or near injury that she and members of the crew faced during her season of the show. So, in closing, please, to my dear fans, stop asking if I will return to the awful show. Capping off her statement in videos with a lengthy final statement, I would not return for any amount of money, nor if a gun were to my head. Nor did I quit. I do not quit. They ruined Kate Kane and they destroyed Batwoman, not me. I followed orders, and if I wanted to stay, I was going to have to sign my rights away. Any threats, any bullying tactics, or blackmail will not make me stand down. A crew member got third-degree burns over his whole body, and we are given no therapy after witnessing his skin fall off his face. But I was the only one who sent him flowers and cards, and then we're told we had to do a sex scene with at a minute to process. We lost 2 stunt doubles. I got cut in the face so close to my eye in a stunt I could have been blind. A woman was left quadriplegic, and they tried to blame it on her being on her phone. So much so, CW didn't even help her to start with because they needed to investigate. So she had to do a GoFundMe. She's a PA. They work via phones. Her accident occurred because our show refused to shut down when everyone else did because of COVID. Carolyn Dries has no heart and wanted us to finish the season throughout the pandemic, and I told her it was a bad idea. I told her everyone was too distracted, constantly checking COVID updates, checking on friends, and seeing Riverdale, and The Flash and Supergirl shut down already, I felt something bad would happen. And Caroline Dries visited the set 4 times in a year. Unheard of. But in those 4 to 5 visits, she decided she could tell me she knew my injury happened on set, so I should comply with the PI. Yet later denied it entirely and said it happened during yoga. Lol, I don't do yoga. And now, Summer will never walk again. We shut down the next day, not because she almost killed someone, but the government pulled it.
Yeah.
Also,
that's crazy.
Also, I fought people on set. Yes, not because I wanted to, but because I wanted safety. Ask anyone in hair and makeup what I did for them. After 2 years, after 2 were hospitalized, the only people who came out and spoke was Doug Ray. I'm not sure if I pronounced that name right. Who talk about unprofessional. Called my agent after my exit to find a way to leave, which she replied, break your neck, I guess, yet slammed me in the press. I never raised my voice, never have. Doug Ray hurt a female stunt double. He yelled like a little bitch at women and was a nightmare. He left when he wanted and arrived when he wanted. He abused women, and in turn, as a lead of a show, I sent an email out asking for no yelling policy. They declined. I was late one time because I was in hospital. Whoever does these stupid leaks, I'll find out who, but it's cameras who, after I left hospital, said, yeah, well, maybe if people were not late, we would make our days. A kid, an egomatic kid who worked 1 day a week, had the audacity. Or the stunt department, who were furious even though I never blamed them, but I went on Fallon and spoke of my injury and didn't play the game. Aside from them, I was loved and loved my crew. Oh, and they wouldn't drive me to work and knew I couldn't legally drive after surgery, so they said get a taxi.
Yeah, I was reading the whole story. This has to be the most unprofessional production I've ever seen for a comic book television series, considering how popular and how big they are. Just, this has to be the worst. I always had my doubts with the Batwoman series. This just cements my decision on it. I think it was a terrible freaking decision. What do you got?
Warner Brothers has released a statement on Ruby Rose's Batwoman comments.
Oh boy, here we go. Let's hear what bullshit. Hang on. Before we do, hang on a second. I just need to do something. Hold on. Let me put on some proper lighting to suit the mood because I'm in support of Ruby Rose and I love Batwoman. And well, what did the lovely Warner Brothers have to say?
Let's see. So, despite the revisionist history that Ruby Rose is now sharing online amid at the producers, the cast and crew, the network and the studio, the truth is that Warner Brothers Television had decided not to exercise its option to engage Ruby for season 2 of Batwoman based on multiple complaints about workplace behavior that were extensively reviewed and handled privately out of respect for all concerned. Warner Brothers Television said in a statement released this afternoon. Where is the full fucking statement? Is that it? Is that the fucking statement?
You've got to be kidding me. That's the statement? What a load of shit. They literally just said that, where Ruby Rose literally came out and just did so much junk on them, showed them so much evidence, and that's their statement. Their statement is pathetic, just as bad as them. They ruined the Snyderverse, and they ruined Batwoman. What else are they going to ruin?
Different company, though. It's still Warner Brothers, but it's a different section of that,
it's a television section.
So they didn't exactly ruin the Snyderverse.
Yeah, it's a CW. It's a CW. It's fucking Warner Brothers. It's the WB television television department and fucking CW. And the thing is, if this is how they want to go out, then fine, they can go out like this. I want to watch a CW show. In fact, I don't. I gave up on all of them years ago. I gave up on The Flash. I gave up on Arrow.
I will say this, though. Even though it is a different department of Warner Brothers, it's still Warner Brothers. Yep. And this is twice now. You've had people from the DC section saying how bad you are at investigating people that are complaining.
Ray Fisher, now Ruby Rose, Gal Gadot, Henry Cavill, the entire Justice League, Ben Affleck. Zack Snyder.
When are they going to be investigated? When are the people that are supposedly investigating these things going to take action and go, you know what? We're fucked. We need an overhaul. We need somebody new. Because you can't hide anymore.
You can't. We can't hide this charade. We can't hide the fact that, what happened to Ruby Rose. Why would she lie about this? Come on.
Why would she lie? Why would she lie and make up saying that they watched somebody's face start to melt?
Yeah, or even better, someone got paralyzed. Someone's face fucking melted. It's a movie set.
And then get told to do a sex scene straight after without any way to process it.
I don't fucking know. I never liked Batwoman because I just didn't understand it, and now I am not behind it anymore.
I liked her season. I really liked it.
Because Ruby Rose was great as Kate Kane. But
it wasn't just that, though. The story for that at the time was great. Jane being her sister was fucking awesome.
And now it doesn't make any sense.
No, Jane shouldn't be in it.
No, Jane should be in it. It shouldn't be. They should have just cancelled it. They should have just cancelled the show.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit if they got Batwing. I don't give a fuck. Literally, you got people working there who, on a set, you had someone almost paralyzed, someone almost died, someone's face nearly melted off. It sounds like
a horror show.
It's a horror show. It's fucking horror, and not the good horror. And I love horror. The fact is that they did this. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
But dude, make sure you go check out Ruby Rose on Instagram. I think she's got a highlight up, or just look up her statement on Twitter that she wrote as well. I think.
That statement I read out before was just taken from a thing.
Yeah, so go read it. Go understand what's happening because dead set. It's pretty damn serious. We should move on. What else we got? We got two more things to cover, I believe.
So we're gonna go on to the whole Alec Baldwin thing.
And that was
purely because this is another accident on set.
This was an accident. Complete accident. Is no one's fault.
Another set issue. Yeah. Again, it is not. We are saying now, and I'm gonna say it. I stand with Alec Baldwin on this.
Yeah, I do. It was an accident. It was a complete and utter accident. Now, I want to say this. Okay, this reminds me a lot of what happened with Brandon Lee on the set of The Crow back in the 90s. You know, he was actually...
shit.
What do you got, Techie?
So we got two things that have come out.
Oh no.
So
why do I get it?
One in the last half hour. So Rust assistant director who gave Alec Baldwin the gun was subjected to a 2019 safety complaint.
What? Meaning his safety compliance thing wasn't up to par.
So prop maker Maggie Gold says she raised complaints about Dave Halls on the TV series Into the Dark, but that issue is in no way one person's fault. So a crew member disclosed that she had raised safety concerns in the past about the assistant director, whom authorities say unwittingly handed actor Alec Baldwin the prop gun that killed a cinematographer on a film set in New Mexico last week. Maggie Gold, a prop maker and licensed pyrotechnician, said she filed an internal complaint with the executive producers of Hulu's Into the Dark TV series in 2019 over concerns about assistant director Dave Hall's conduct on set. Gold alleged in an interview that Halls had previously not followed safety protocols for weapons and pyrotechnics when she worked alongside him on a TV series in 2019. Halls has not responded to requests for comment. The fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins on the set of the Desert Western Rust last week, which I'm going to check out still if it ends up finishing filming, because it's a fucking Western, and we don't get much Westerns anymore.
I hope it's good. I hope it's really good. I hope they do dedicate the movie to Helena's memory.
They have to. They would have to.
They have to.
And some of Gold's previous experiences point to larger safety issues that need to be addressed. She added that crew member safety and well-being were top issues in ongoing contract negotiations between the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, union, of which she is a member, that represents film and TV workers and a major producers group. This situation is not about Dave Halls. It's in no way one person's fault. It's a bigger conversation about safety on set and what we are trying to achieve with that culture.
Yeah.
Baldwin fired a prop gun on Rust film set Thursday, killing 42-year-old Hutchins and wounding director Joel Souza, who was standing behind her. The gun Baldwin used was one of the 3 that a firearm specialist or armorer had set on a cart outside the building where a scene was being rehearsed, according to court records. Halls grabbed a gun off a cart and handed it to Baldwin, indicating that the weapon was safe by yelling "cold gun," court papers noted. But it was unknown to Halls, loaded with live rounds, according to the records.
Oh my god.
Just 6 hours before that, half a dozen crew members had walked off the Rush set to protest against poor conditions and safety concerns, including gun safety amid reports of incidents of a prop gun being accidentally misfired earlier in the filming, the LA Times reported on Friday. Baldwin, 63, who is known for his role in 30 Rock and The Hunt of Red October, and his impressions of former President Donald Trump on SNL, has described the killing as a tragic accident. Gold said the death and injury of on the Rush set should not have happened because there are so many steps that you have to go through that the possibility of it even getting there should be impossible. But she also told The Guardian of concerns when she worked in, which we mentioned back in 2019, where prop guns were being used, and Halls was also first AD, overseeing the work on set to a tight schedule. There is absolutely no reason that gun safety should be ignored on set, even when it is a non-firing prop firearm.
Yeah.
She recalled there were times when she and other crew felt unsafe. A fellow crew member had announced the presence on set of a firearm. She noted when normally the first assistant director would do that, and this crew member frequently admonished Dave for dismissing the talent, i.e. letting the actors know to stop work without returning props, weapons included, or failing to make safety announcements. The fellow crew member has corroborated her account to The Guardian while asking that his name will be withheld over fears of jeopardizing his employment. Meanwhile, on Sunday, actor Ray Liotta said the checks on firearms during filming in the industry generally are usually extensive, which is true ever since Brendan Lee. It has been.
It has been.
They always, that I know of, they check it so you can see. Liotta said in an interview at the Newport Beach Film Festival in California, they give it to the person you're pointing the gun at. They do it to the producer. They show whoever is there that it doesn't work. Back in 2019, Gold said she filed an internal complaint, which we've gone over. Fucking hell, Guardian. I'm gutted and not pushing harder for greater accountability and safety, she stated, adding that since the death on set in New Mexico last week, many of us have messaged each other, wondering the same thing. Is there something we could have done then that would have prevented the tragedy? I mean, you always think that. You always
will. How do you think everyone felt? Like, for instance, I just want to jump in here for a second, say my piece. You mentioned Brandon Lee there. What happened to him? Absolute tragic accident. Absolutely. It was the prop master's fault. What happened was, the prop master actually had left set the day. So it was actually just some employees fixing up the prop weapons. They hadn't done a proper safety check on the firearm that Michael Massey had used to shoot Brandon Lee's character Eric Draven in a critical scene towards the finale of the film. What had happened was a projectile was still lodged in there, and it hit Brandon in the chest, and ended up taking his life. Now, Shannon Lee, who is the brother of Brandon Lee, and daughter to Bruce Lee, has stated that she has been petitioning for years to get real firearms taken off film sets. It's strictly no type of blanks or anything like that. She's been trying to get gun safety in movies much more tougher. It has to be. Gun safety in America needs to get much more safer. We're having people die on film sets now when there's no real firearms being used now. They're all prop guns. And it is sad.
Well, they are real firearms.
They are real firearms, but they're not supposed to fire real bullets, But unfortunately, it's now we've got another death of a really, wonderful woman who had children and a husband.
Yes. So, neither Rust Movie Productions nor the DGA have responded to requests for comment, which I don't blame them at this time.
They probably
a spokesperson for Blumhouse Productions said Dave Halls worked on 2 films for Blumhouse Television 2019 and was not rehired after that time. Further, any complaints that were received by the studio regarding safety issues were dealt with promptly. Baldwin met with Hutchins' husband and 9-year-old son on Saturday at a hotel in Santa Fe, where the actor had been staying during filming. Now, the next part. Alec Baldwin was pointing the gun at camera when it went off. So, Alec Baldwin was practicing a scene that involved him pointing a gun towards the camera lens when it accidentally went off, killing his director of photography, according to a written statement by the film's director. So, the director, Joel Souza, said he heard what sounded like a whip and then a loud pop. He said he saw the cinematographer, Helena Hutchins, clutch her midriff and stumble backwards. Souza noticed that he himself was bleeding from the right shoulder. The cameras were not rolling at the time. Baldwin was sitting on a wooden church pew on the set, trying out the scene in which he would cross-draw a revolver from his holster. Hutchins and Souza...
I'm just reading one from the LA Times right now about that, because Baldwin was practicing removing the revolver from the holster. Do you mind if I read this one? Sure. If that's okay, Techie? All right. So, just in the LA Times, I don't mean to steal your thunder there, Mr. Techie, but I'd like to chip in as well, because this, again, you know how I am with Bro and that what happened with Brandon Lee was a tragic accident. This feels like a repeat of exactly what happened with Brandon Lee. So this is what happened. What the LA Times said. Actor Alec Baldwin was practicing removing a revolver from its holster, aiming towards the camera during rehearsal for the movie Rust, when director Joel Souza heard what sounded like a whip and then a loud pop. According to a search warrant obtained by the Los Angeles Times on Sunday night, it also provided the grim new details about the final minutes of cinematographer Helena Hutchins' life. In a newly released document, Souza said someone identified the weapon as a cold gun, like we stated in the previous article from The Guardian. Meaning it did not have any live rounds, but instead the gun discharged, striking Hutchins' chest and Souza in his right shoulder, according to Santa Fe County NM Sheriff's Detective Avida Vet, used to obtain the search warrant. Hutchins was pronounced dead at the Albuquerque hospital. Souza's statement to the detective offered a new window into the on-set shooting Thursday that has left Hollywood reeling and calling for safer work conditions on the sets. I know for a fact that on Alec Baldwin's Twitter, he actually broke his silence, so I'm actually going to go read what he said. This is exactly what he said. So he said. Number one, this is written 2 days ago. There are no words to convey my shock and sadness regarding the tragic incident that took the life of Helena Hutchins. A wife, a mother, and deeply admired colleague of ours. I'm fully cooperating with the police investigation to address how this tragic incident occurred, and I am in touch with her husband, offering my support to him and his family. My heart is broken for her husband, their son, and all who loved Helena. So he's been posting. He posted 2 days ago one from Apple News. He was told that the prop gun was safe before the fatal shooting, we said. Was told. But again, I'm seeing on Twitter people trying to blame him.
Yes.
That's another.
It is not his fault at all.
It's not his fault. It's not his fault. He did not do this. It was an accident. A complete and utter accident. I do not understand why people are trying to friggin' attack him. It's not his fault.
I don't like that people are calling it that he's privileged and why he's getting away. He's not privileged. This
No.
isn't why he's getting away with it. He did nothing wrong. He is being falsely accused of a crime he did not commit. Yes, he was holding the gun.
But
did he have every
didn't know.
intention to fire it at this person? Did he
No.
know? Did he have every intention of having that gun with a live round? No.
No, absolutely not. He did not intentionally fire a gun at someone and think he was going to kill someone. No, he was told it was a safe prop gun. It was a cold gun, as Sir David Hall said to him. He thought it was safe. He was practicing. He was practicing during rehearsal, and the gun fired, and he shot and killed Helena Hudson. It was a sorry for my cursing here. It was a fucking accident, guys. Don't say #arrest Alec Baldwin, because what are you gonna fucking prove there? You're just gonna cause more fucking issues. Sorry, Techie, but this stuff annoys me. It's the same thing that happened to Michael Massey after the death of Brandon Lee.
Yep.
After the death of Brandon Lee, it destroyed him, destroyed his acting career, it destroyed his life. He couldn't even watch the film. And the sad reality is, when Michael Massey did pass away, sadly, there was a fucking article, ironically, by, I think it was The Guardian or one, that said, the man that killed Brandon Lee has just passed away. He was not the man that killed Brandon Lee. It was a fucking accident. When is people going to get that, yes, accidents happen with firearms, okay? People get shot accidentally. It happens.
Yep.
Do you really think the person who accidentally shot someone would want to kill someone? No, because look at them. I mean, for goodness sake, Alec Baldwin's a mess right now. I've seen photos from on set.
Yep.
Paparazzi being jerks, taking a photo of someone who's in a freaking absolute mental breakdown. He's a mess.
I'm surprised they were there that quick.
Yeah, same here. I was too. But again, it's the paparazzi. I'm not surprised by it. But at the same time, though, it's really rude to take photos of him when he's trying to, solve out this mess and trying to help the police.
I think one of the reasons why people are also on his case is he's not just the actor in it. He's not just the one that was holding the gun. He's also a producer in the film too.
He's also a producer in the film, but that doesn't mean that he would intentionally kill someone.
No, that's right. But I think it's more about the checks than anything. As a producer, you kind of be onto that too. But
no
again,
price is worth a human life.
It's not his fault.
It's not his fault. It was never his fault. It was an accident. A pure, plain accident. Why do you think he's gone silent? Because he's probably either
he's seeing the negative feedback.
Yeah, he's seen the negative feedback, and he's just had enough of it. I'm not going to talk about it.
This is the worst part of social media. Let's be honest.
Yeah, that's the worst
Social
part.
media have great parts, and social media have bad parts. And this is the bad part.
Yeah,
anyone has a voice. And one person will say one thing, and then people will start piggybacking on that.
Yep, exactly. Yep.
You don't have your own voice anymore.
No, you don't.
Just copy. And enough's enough.
Enough's enough. Yeah.
Shut up. Let him be.
And let him be. Let him freaking mourn. Let him freaking grieve. Because that's the person he worked with, the person that he really cared about. And it was like he accidentally took their life. Let me rephrase that again. He accidentally took someone's life. Not intentionally. If he intentionally took someone's life, we would be saying, fuck Alec Baldwin. The guy killed someone on the set of Rust. He intentionally does that. But no, we're not saying that.
Do you think he woke up that morning going, you know what? I think I'm going to kill her.
I'm going to kill someone today. No, fuck no. He's a fucking accomplished Academy Award-winning actor. He's not going to wake up one morning and ruin his whole career. Are you insane?
Exactly.
Yeah, anyway, I need to get off this subject because I'm got another one to get on to very, very sadly.
It's sad. I'm not a huge fan of this series.
I know you're not. I know you're not, but it is very sad.
It is sad, and I feel sad for the fans of the show.
Yeah.
I mean, look, I say, if you don't know, Gunther from Friends passed away today.
So James Michael Taylor.
Yeah.
James Michael Tyler died at the age of 59. He died of prostate cancer. His manager announced in a statement on Sunday he was most known for his role as Gunther, the Friends omnipresent Central Perk barista, and the seventh friend. Tyler was diagnosed with cancer in 2018, but he only revealed in publicity in an interview with the NBC's Today Show in June this year. Beyond his prominent role in Friends, the actor appeared in TV series including Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Just Shoot Me, and Scrubs.
Who was he in Sabrina? Oh, the new one or the old one? Or the old one?
The old one. Sabrina the Teenage Witch.
Who was he in that?
I don't know. Update. This moment has been updated to clarify that Tyler shared the news of his diagnosis publicly on NBC's Today Show. So it was very, very tragic. 59 years old. Wow. And prostate cancer, man. Like, it ain't no joke. So
no.
Please get checked. It's important. You know, if you're a man in your 50s and that you've got a higher risk of getting prostate cancer, get yourself checked. I know it's uncomfortable, and I know, I don't really talk about it, but like, please. I know it's uncomfortable. I
can't help, but every time I hear about that, my mind goes to that Family Guy bit.
Oh God.
Or he's like, he touched my insides. He raped me.
Okay, so Courtney Cox, Jennifer Aniston, and more friends honored James Michael Taylor after his death. So Lisa Kudrow and Michael LeBlanc were among the friend actors to pay tribute to their late co-star James Michael Taylor, who passed away October 24th after battling cancer. So he died yesterday. Yesterday.
Well, yes, technically today.
Yeah, technically today. So Tyler's former co-star, Jen Madison wrote on Instagram alongside a clip from the show, "Thank you for the laughter you brought to the show and to all our friends. You will be so missed." Courtney Cox also shared a message to Tyler on Instagram. "The size of gratitude you brought into the room and showed every day on the set is the size of gratitude I hold for having known you." She captioned the photo of the actor. Lisa Kudrow also thanked Taylor for being there for all of us. And while Matt LeBlanc recalled sharing a lot of laughs with Taylor, "You will be missed." He wrote on Instagram, "Rest in peace, my friend." Tyler, who was first diagnosed with advanced prostate cancer in September 2018, shared his health news publicly in June and in a June interview on Today. "For my specific prognosis, it is of course stage 4, he told Today's Craig Melvin. "Late stage cancer, so eventually, it's probably going to get me. I miss going in for a test, which was not a good thing, so the cancer decided to mutate at the time of the pandemic, and so it's progressed. There are other options available to men if they catch it before me," he shared. "Next time you go in just for a basic exam or your yearly checkup, please ask your doctor for a PSA test. It's easily detectable." Tyler is survived by his wife, Jennifer Carno. So he had no children. Sad. Man, Hollywood's just not doing good at the moment.
No, they're not.
They're not doing good. I mean, you've had, the accidental death on set of Ross, and then you've got one of, I know you're not the biggest fan of Friends, but it was one of the
biggest shows of all time.
One of the biggest shows of all time, alongside Seinfeld and Cheers and Frasier and all those shows back during the day. But Friends lasted a lot of time. It was almost as long as Cheers, and Cheers was huge. And it was really, really sad learning about that today, because I was like, oh man, 59, Jesus.
Yeah.
And it wasn't natural causes; it was prostate cancer that took his life.
Yeah.
I was kind of shocked that he was diagnosed. He didn't tell anyone publicly for ages until finally he did this year. He died.
Yeah.
He announced it this year, and he was in a reunion. As I
said to you, like in the reunion, he looked well, like really well. So that's why when you sent this to me this morning, I was like, what? Fucking bullshit.
It's actually true. Yeah. Very, very sad. Man. What else do we got, Techie? Or is that it, really?
So I've got 2 more. I want to do a quick review of a certain show, but I just found this, and I want to quickly talk about it because it's one of my favorite movies of all time.
So we're now going into happy topics, guys. We're off the sad news and everything. We're off the tragedy and that. We're on to some good stuff now. We deeply apologize, but again, sometimes we have to report this stuff because it's important. Okay, please understand that.
So, Anthony Michael Hall reveals the Breakfast Club sequel John Hughes had planned.
Really? They were going to do a Breakfast Club sequel?
Yeah. So while John Hughes has several notable films that he had written or directed, Home Alone, 16 Candles, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, The Breakfast Club is undeniably a fan favorite. While promoting Halloween Kills, Anthony Michael Hall, who portrayed the nerdy Brian Johnson in the coming-of-age comedy, recently revealed that Hughes had hoped to create a sequel to The Breakfast Club, which would have shown the group in their late 20s or early 30s. This notion of a sequel is interesting for Hughes, given that he never directed a sequel to any of his other films. He had written several sequels for other projects, though these skewed to more of his family-oriented films, such as Home Alone 2 and the Vacation sequels. As opposed to his more teen-oriented projects, this whole discussion around a sequel is not news with other actors. Namely, Claire Standish actress Molly Ringwald detailed Hughes' sequel aspirations. It's unknown whether there was an actual script written, and that the tragic early passing of the legendary director makes the possibility of one existing murkier. So, in an interview with The Independent, Hall had the following to say. At the time, he did mention the potential of doing a sequel to The Breakfast Club. It would have been about all of us in our middle age. His idea was to pick up with them in their 20s or 30s. That idea was on his mind, but that was the last conversation I had with him.
Yeah, because Hughes passed away in 2009 of a heart attack, sadly. I love John Hughes, man. He wrote some of my favorite films. He wrote National Lampoons, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Pretty in Pink, Dennis the Menace. I love Dennis the Menace. It is amazing. I don't give a damn. Beethoven. I love the Beethoven series. It's great. Yep. Home Alone, the original Home Alone 2, and he did Home Alone 3, which still had the same feel, which is why I said on my story, go watch those three. Don't go watch the other trash, especially that new one, Home Sweet Home Alone, which looks like absolute garbage.
Yeah, it looks like trash.
It's not even John Hughes' work. They say it's a reimagining of the first one. And I'm like, you're just shitting on John Hughes' work.
Yep.
Really hate that Disney does this shit. I'm like, look, you cannot make another Home Alone movie without John Hughes and without Macaulay Culkin and without freaking the Wet Bandits, the actors that played the Wet Bandits. Like, freaking.
Look, I'll be honest, it kind of be awkward now doing.
Yeah, I know.
It with Macaulay Culkin.
It would be with Macaulay Culkin.
Yeah. Unless you really take an adult take and he gets high and he thinks he's locked inside, and then he's like, "I'm home alone. I'm afraid."
Yeah.
What was that? Somebody's at the door. I gotta create some traps.
Yeah, it creates like saw traps. Have you heard that conspiracy theory about?
Yeah, we've mentioned it on the show before. Yeah,
that he turns into the freaking Saw killer. He grows up to be the Saw killer, which is. I love conspiracy theories, especially when it comes to theories about movies and television. Even I think it was Macaulay Culkin even talked about that on Jimmy Fallon.
Did.
Like, and he's just like, some people are messed up, man.
I'm actually really happy for him though. Like he's gotten a lot better, and that's really good to see.
He retired from acting at a young age. I think it was like he retired.
Yeah, but if you saw photos of him not that long ago, he was really messed up. He was really messed up.
Yeah,
and now he's doing well, and I'm fucking proud of him.
Yeah. He was, Macaulay Culkin. He was regarded as one of the most successful child actors of the 1990s. So, years active. He was active from 1985 to 1994, and then from 1998 to the present. So, he actually, ironically, he was married. He divorced in 2002. He was dating Mila Kunis. I wish I wasn't making that up.
Oh, no.
2002 to 2010. And then Brenda Song, he's dating her from 2017 to present. And he has a child.
Yeah.
So he quit. He retired from acting around 2000. He retired from acting after his 15th film in 7 years. Wanting a normal life, he went to a private high school in Manhattan. He doesn't really do that much anymore, but when he does,
it's known.
Yeah, but now he actually is
He has a band.
Yeah, he has a band. Yeah, he is also in 2021. He's part of the starring cast of the series 10th season titled American Horror Story Double
Yeah, I heard
Feature.
about that. Yeah.
He's
I
going
knew
to
about
be in
that.
it,
Yeah.
which I think is amazing. He had a half sister, Jennifer Addison. She died of a drug overdose, sadly, in 2000. His older sister Dakota died after being hit by a car, sadly. So this is about the time Colkin was arrested in Oklahoma City for the possession of 17.3 grams of marijuana and two controlled substances, 16 milligrams of Xanax and 32 milligrams of Klonopin, which he was briefly jailed and released on a $4,000 bond. After being arraigned in court for a misdemeanor drug offense, he pleaded not guilty at the trial. But again, he's sobered up. He's cleaned up his act, and he's gotten back into what he loved. One of my favorite Macaulay Culkin movies alongside Home Alone. Do you remember Richie Rich?
Yeah, Richie Rich.
I love that movie. It's a fantastic movie. I don't give a shit what the Rotten Tomato meter says for it.
What about My Girl?
My Girl, dude, don't hit me with that. That is sad. That is real. It's a great film. My sister loves that movie. Loves My Girl. It's very sad.
Who didn't have a crush on her though? Let's be honest.
Shut up. I don't know what you're talking about. I was young, man. I was a kid.
Exactly.
I was young, but
All right.
Oh man.
Last one.
Last one.
And
Let's
this is mainly for me because I watched it before.
This is a review for the brand new Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Earlier this month, Curb Your Enthusiasm celebrated 21 years on the air. Like, that's fucking impressive.
21 years? It's been on there for 21 years. When did they start?
Oh, dude, like, years. 21 years ago.
Hey, Google. But they started...
What?
Hang on.
What year is it, dickhead?
Shut up. They started in 2000?
Yes.
Really? Wow. Holy crap.
And we are now on season 11. So, making it the longest running scripted HBO series over the course of 100 episodes and 10 seasons, now 11. Larry David's series has been one of the most beloved comedies in HBO's lineup and has somehow remained consistently great. Curb Your Enthusiasm has done this by keeping certain elements consistent throughout, notably David's complete disregard for social norms and yet remain completely unexpected. Look, it's a great show.
I know. The fact it's been going for 11 series and it literally has like so many amazing comedians come in. So I just love the fact he stars as a fictionalized version of himself.
Yeah. So in an interview with Entertainment Weekly, showrunner Jeff Schaffer said when people ask him how they still come up with ideas, he says, well, until society reaches a place where you can walk outside and not be annoyed by your fellow man, I think we're good. After 21 years, Curb continues to make this simple idea an effective building block for a great series, and Curb shows no signs of slowing down with the 5-foot fence, not only proving that this is still a concept ripe for a series, but that Curb is still one of the best comedies on television 2 decades running.
I really love the premise for it. I love what he's explaining the show's name in TV interviews as reflecting his perception that many people seem to live their lives projecting false enthusiasm, which he believes is used to imply they are better than you.
Yeah, literally.
This
Dude, this is what I'm saying.
Style.
This is why I'm saying you really need to watch this show.
I probably should, and I probably will now, considering that I had no idea it started in 2000, meaning I've got to watch a show from the 2000s, which is going to be very different compared to shows that I've watched recently.
I mean, one of the first few episodes, his friend Richard Lewis, by the way.
Richard Lewis, where do I know that name from? Hang on, where do I know that name? Why do I know that name? I'm gonna kick myself if I know that fucking name. Lewis. Oh my god. It is Richard Lewis. Jesus Christ. I know this guy. Oh my god, he was in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes, he was the king.
Oh, he's the king!
Yeah, so he's best friends with Richard, right? And Richard starts dating this girl with that's like, let's be honest, like she's very attractive, right? And Larry runs into him at the movies, and he sits down, and he's got an issue with his pants. You know when you sit down with some certain pants, you get a big bump right around there. Yeah. So she looks over. She thinks he's got a boner. Like, it's just, yeah, it's a fantastic show. So she gets offended, goes and tells Richard, and Richard gets pissed, and and then so on and so on and so on. But look, so this is season 11, episode 1. It dropped tonight. Watched it before the show. Loved it. So this one is the basis of this plot is while his latest creative venture is threatened, Larry attends an unprecedented event at Albert Brooks' house. So there's a couple of things that happen in this, and Albert Brooks turns out to be a COVID hoarder. So, you know, so he's like one of the ones that panic buys.
All right, I need to watch it now. It's on binge, isn't it?
Yes, it's on
All
binge.
Right. I think I've made my mind up. I think I'm gonna sit down and watch it probably while I'm doing some work.
Please do. So there's a lot that happens in this episode. So the 5-foot fence. We all have our moments of agreeing with Larry, or at least seeing his point of view in a given season. But the season 11 premiere had me feeling. This is another review. Had me feeling bad for the guy on more than one occasion, and nodding vehemently as he made the very valid point that 6 months is a long time to wait for a repayment of a $6,000 loan. Right? So obviously, Larry doesn't need $6,000. He lent Dennis Zwelby. I don't even know how to pronounce his name, but Barry's John Perillico Sans mustache for some golf trip. But this guy also wondered why he was the bad guy in the situation. Though, to be honest, my viewpoint might be colored by the fact that I am not someone who can afford to float someone else thousands of dollars to be repaid at a date to be dated. Right? That unpaid loan turns out to be the least of Larry's troubles in the 5-foot fence. His woes stack up quickly, lest anyone that think that Curb Your Enthusiasm has gained any generosity of spirit or anything over the last 2 years. At the top of the episode, Larry finds a dead body in his pool. Turns out the burglar who had just broken into his house tripped, hit his head, and drowned. All of this could have been avoided if Larry had if Larry had a fence around his pool, which is mandated by Santa Monica ordinance. The cop tells Larry he's given him a pass, but we already know this is going to come back to bite him in the ass. And that's part of the joy, if we want to call it that, of watching Curb Your Enthusiasm, waiting for the show's grand design to reveal itself. Series director, which we said. He went on this year. We're throwing a lot of puzzle pieces out at you in the beginning, but I promise you they all come together in a real nice completed puzzle of pettiness and awkward vengefulness. It's so pettiness and vengefulness is what we're here for. The 5-foot fence has plenty of both, along with another great array of guest stars, including returning John Hamm. There's also another series pitch from Larry, which is quickly greenlit by a fictional Netflix executive named Don Winston Jr., played by Reed Scott, who is been on another HBO show that I love and adore, and it's Veep. He's from Veep. So Larry's now poised to join the world of young Sheldon and young Rock with a biographical comedy that we will see him trying to kill his wealthy uncle while also trying to make it as a stand-up comedian. Larry's projects, including the Seinfeld reunion and the Fatwa musical, have provided a loose framework for previous seasons. It'll be interesting to see how young Larry brings this year's many threads together.
This sounds amazing. I think I really need to watch.
So there's already some intersection in the premiere as the dead burglar's brother, Marcus, blackmails Larry into casting his daughter, Maria Sophia, as a Jewish ballerina named Marsha Lifshitz. That's the spelling. That's the spelling that came up in my closed captions. If this guy, so the specifics of the extortion aside, it was pretty obvious that someone would take advantage of Larry's lack of proper fencing. The cop's hushed tone as he told LD he would look the other way, all but set up Marcus's demand. This deployment wasn't exactly broadcast, but Curb doesn't like to squander potential sources of ire for Larry. Even after meeting Marcus, he continues to tempt fate by refusing to put up the mandated fence, so he's walking right into this debacle. To add injury to insult, Larry walks into a glass door while on a date with Lucy Liu, which changes the way she looks at him. She can no longer think of him in a sexual way, and also prompts Leon to threaten to put Larry in a home. Two feeble themes in a row.
Wait, hang on. He walks into a glass door, and it completely changes the way Lucy looks at him.
Yeah,
Jesus.
so this is after Susie's plopping down on Mary Ferguson's couch caused Larry to spill wine on one of the cushions. Neither incident reflects well on Larry, as his friends and acquaintances start to wonder about his vitality. That story also has the potential to reoccur this season, but we're really hoping that Albert Brooks comes back. His live funeral is a fiasco of curb-sized proportions.
You were telling me about this.
And it begins with lots of promise. Larry's supposed to lead the utilizing, followed by John Hamm, whose performance as Larry David Light character tested well with audiences, but not the Larry David Light character. Naturally, Larry cannot bring himself to earnestly mourn his friend, because he knows Albert is still alive and watching the proceedings from his bedroom with his girlfriend Jody. He cracks jokes the whole time, and though was sure the crowd would turn on him, the mourners eat it up. After losing his sort of girlfriend being stiffed out of $6,000 and blackmailed by the brother of the person who broke into the house and died in his pool, Larry closes out the episode on a high note. It's not on purpose, though. While looking for a bathroom, he stumbles upon a closet full of hand sanitizer, toilet paper, and possibly some PPE. I assume that's why John Hamm yells about the things first responders could have used. It might be a post-COVID world in Curb, but there are still signs of the pandemic, including widespread disdain for hoarders. No one wants to celebrate Albert Brooks at that point, which he takes in stride. Maybe we'll try again next year.
Okay. I think I need to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm now. Oh my god, I can't stop laughing. Jesus Christ, it sounds like my day-to-day life.
Yeah, literally. Like, season 7 is one of my favorite seasons because it's the whole premise of that season is the Seinfeld reunion.
Oh god. Yes.
It's fantastic. It's a fantastic season. But there's just these odd episodes, and it's just awesome. The guest stars in it, you wouldn't believe. Season 8, there's an episode called Larry versus Michael J. Fox.
Oh, that's right. I remember he did come into that series.
Yeah, he comes into the series quite a few times. It's not just him though. There's Ted Danson.
Yeah, I saw that on the list.
Elizabeth Banks in one of the newest seasons. Like, there is a lot of good actors in this. Even David Schwimmer.
Ross.
Yeah. Ben Stiller.
Oh god,
there is Mel Brooks. I could go on. There is a lot.
The fact that Mel Brooks shows up is even more better. That guy pioneered old school comedy back in the day.
Yeah,
especially
which actually I do want to quickly mention History of the World Part 2. Can't believe we're finally getting it.
I need to watch History of the World.
You fucking do. So
anyway,
yes,
guys,
go check it out. Go check out Curb. It's on Binge, and definitely check out the new episode because it's fucking awesome.
All right, guys. Holy crap, we're finally at the end. It is nearly 10:30 at night. I'm tired. My name is Talon, and that's Techie. If you want to check out our social media channels, Techie will put up those annotations for us.
You can follow us at our TikTok at the Techie Talon Show. We've been posting a lot on there recently, haven't we?
We have been. Yeah, we posted a lot on there. I did some videos on there. I need to get back on there and do some more. in celebration for The Last of Us as well. Plus, with Supernova stuff, I'm going to be going to Supernova. I don't know about Techie if he's going to be attending Supernova or not. That's completely up to him.
Yeah, I'm not sure. You can follow us on our Facebook at the Techie Talon Show and YouTube and Twitch at the Techie Talon Show, where we are currently live right now. And you can also follow us on our Instagram here at the Techie Talon Show, where we will also be posting a lot of updates to do with the show.
Absolutely.
And on our Twitter at Talon_show.
Hey, my show.
Your show. We just want to make a couple of announcements. So last week we apologized for not really going live. There was nothing really major that broke last week other than this whole Alec Baldwin thing. But we did our long show on Saturday and covered pretty much anything that was breaking news last weekend.
Yeah. And then the weekend before that, we did the DC fandom.
That's the one I'm talking about. That was last weekend.
Oh, I can't believe it was last weekend. Jesus.
So not the weekend we just had the one that passed last week.
The one that's passed,
that's a 4-hour show. It is on our feeds here at YouTube and Facebook. Not on Twitch though, so sorry.
Twitch doesn't like 4-hour videos on Twitch, sad. But you can check it out on our YouTube channel. You can check it out on all the other channels.
Yeah.
It was a long show because we watched the entirety of the DC fandom. We loved it. And we hope you guys enjoy it if you do watch it back. It's only on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook page as well. It's not on our Spotify or on our Twitch or anything because, again, we couldn't upload that length of time because, again, not a lot of us were talking because we were just reacting to all the trailers and that. Especially the Batman trailer. I think I went silent for like 5 minutes because my jaw dropped to the floor. But
on top of that, you also had a technical glitch too.
God.
Now, the next thing we want to quickly mention too, tomorrow afternoon at about 4 o'clock, is that about right there, Talon?
That's about right. Yeah, that's about right.
We will be doing our Witcher podcast.
Yes.
We really need to catch up. So what I'm thinking we might be doing is we will do both the first 2 episodes to catch up.
Yep, absolutely.
Cool. Until then, guys, my name's Techie.
And my name's Talon.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.
See you guys later. Bye, guys.